Hey, how we doing? Great to see everyone back for another stream. We do have a very special guest on as well, who we will get on in just a second. Hang on. Let me fix up my foot massager. There we go. Cannot stream without the foot massager on. And it is Justin. Hello, mate.
Yeah,
He's back.
How are you, mate?
Get excited. I'm great, thanks, mate. How are you? You okay?
Can't grumble, shan't grumble, won't grumble.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah, how have you been? Have you been okay?
I have. I was away on a bit of holiday last week.
Last year,
yeah. So I'm back, recharged, and ready for action.
Oh, yes, that's what we like to hear. So if you are watching, do make sure you drop a big thumbs up, drop a like on the stream for having Justin back on. I think it must be about 3 weeks, because obviously I think there was 1 week when I was off on the Monday and Tuesday. Yeah. And then I think obviously last week you was away, so must have been about 3 weeks ago now that you was last on.
Yes, that seems about right, Dave.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great to have you back on, mate. We've got Thunder in saying let's go. Steve-O is here. No doubt Steve-O will be thrilled to see Justin back on. Pappy says I'm here for the alpha. Loki, afternoon to you. Good day, Brucey and Gonksy. Yeah, anyone else that's watching, please do drop a big thumbs up on the stream. Subscribe if you're new. And yeah, get your comments in. Let us know what you've been trading, your thoughts on the market, and all that jazz. But yeah, mate, have you had time to catch up? I assume that you kind of switched off last week and enjoyed the week.
I didn't do much. I've caught up since been back. It looks all a bit like we're waiting. It's a bit dull, really, isn't it? Alts are getting slammed yet again, or have been slammed yet again. I just wonder when the tide is going to turn and we're going to have slightly more green on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all a bit boring, really.
Yeah, we do have
ETH. This is.
Yeah, we do have ETH showing a little bit of strength, don't we, over the last 2 days? I think it was outperforming Bitcoin yesterday. Nothing major, nothing crazy, but it has been showing a minor bit of strength against Bitcoin.
Yeah, it needs to. Everything to me just feels like we're poised and waiting for something. I don't know what the something is, but it's just. It just feels like a catalyst is just like hopefully just around the corner. But when that catalyst is going to arrive and give us some positive news, I have no idea, Dave, because it's just bumbling along, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean we've been in this range now on ETH for 24 days.
Yeah, I had a brief look at ETH. Bitcoin's it's just sitting there. I sense that something is coming. I don't know what, but it just looks like it wants to push. But I did look at ETH yesterday. We have a look at ETH while we're talking. Yes.
Yeah, it's just sat chilling, isn't it? In this range, like there's nothing really too major in over 3 weeks now. Obviously, since it had the great pump, this was fun. This was very fun.
Yeah.
And then we have just been kind of just sat there chilling. Obviously, this was a failed breakout on Thursday when we pushed up to nearly 2,800. Yeah. And then obviously the past couple of days we've been coming down, retesting, the lower end of the range. So we are just chugging along, chug, and not really doing much. While that said, I mean, it is obviously remaining still. Ones like Solana have obviously come down. Everything's kind of, especially on the hourly, from what I've been seeing, everything has kind of got the same pattern on it on the hourly. I mean, you got Link there. but everything's looking very, very similar in what it's formed. So everything's kind of waiting for something, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, ETH to me, just looking at it on weekly.
Apart from hype, I mean, that thing is just in a world of its own.
2,700-ish, 2,750-ish.
Yeah.
Probably where we need to gain. Again, when that's going, what would have been 2 weeks like that. I mean, the thing is, if for being in an accumulation for that long, you would think that you're going to probably get. How long was we in the one at the bottom for?
It was a couple of weeks, wasn't it? So the first one,
weeks, and then it went up slightly. That was another 50. Yeah, personally, it's going to break out, and it's going to break out hard, isn't it? Basically, is the sense that I get, and it obviously needs to. What's ETH Bitcoin looking like? Have you looked at that at all?
Not majorly. It's holding. It's just kind of holding the same, around the same levels as when it pumped up.
Yeah, again, so I have ETH Bitcoin's got to break above, where is it? 0.026, I think it is, on the weekly. But it feels like it's poised, but I don't know what the catalyst is going to be, because there's nothing that in the news that looks like it's going to provide it. I thought we would have been well and truly done Russia-Ukraine by now.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't seem like that wants to play ball. So really, it's going to be financial news. It's not going to be, obviously, Powell. Everyone was getting very excited that yesterday, I think it was, saying that there was going to be Powell was going to resign or something like that yesterday.
Yeah, we was looking at that on stream, and it was just fabricated, just out of nowhere, wasn't it? There was nothing really, because obviously it all came about because Powell had met Trump over the weekend. But that's probably a pretty staple event for maybe once, twice, couple times a year for the chairman of the Fed to meet the president. And then obviously with him having this speech scheduled at the event, whatever it was yesterday, some yearly event the Fed have.
Yeah.
It kind of just, that's been scheduled, I imagine, for a while. It was just the fact he met with Trump that everyone's kind of this rumor just come around that he was going to resign.
Everyone just gets excited about absolutely nothing.
But
yeah, I don't think it's going to be financial news. I did see earlier on Bloomberg that apparently Trump is meeting with what's his name, Chinese chap. She or whatever it's called. This week, I think it is, to talk tariffs.
Right.
I mean, that would do it. But it's not. I mean, Bitcoin's Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's looks all right. We still made like an all-time high and that kind of jazz. Mm-hmm. But again, it's not. It's the fact that ETH is lagging so bad, but it's definitely like ETH Bitcoin has definitely bounced. We've had a change of character on there, so it does look like it's going to go up.
Yeah.
But yeah, ETH needs to melt some faces, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, I've had these marked out for ages, well, what feels like ages. I mean, I think this area is obviously prime for taking liquidity. That kind of range that we formed in February, above that area will be a decent liquidity sweep. But I kind of mainly looking towards like 3,300 for like a proper expansion.
Yeah. So I have it at 2,750-ish is probably where we need to gain above. And then, yeah, just go to ETH, USD.
We've got someone called Dung Schlung talking about beans and cheese, jacket potato. Have you been watching Spud Bros? Because I'm pretty sure that has come from Spud Bros. I'm sure that has come from Spud Bros on TikTok. That tuna thing, like tuna. Dung Schlung, you definitely like watching Spud Bros. I'm sure of it. Let me know. BPN, how we doing? Great to see you. And Dunder Thunder says ETH needs to pick up the pace for sure.
I'm just looking at it now, Dave. Should I track my screen on?
Yeah, mate, go for it.
Screen.
He says, "I love you, Stonksy." Thank you very much. I love you too. As long as you've dropped the like button and you are subscribed, I love you too, my friend. Thank you very much for bringing the energy in the chat as well on about your beans and cheese, tuna, jacket potato thing, whatever it is.
Well, yeah, on, mate.
Yeah, you're on, mate. You're live on the channel.
So where do we? Yeah, so this is where we need to gain above this kind of area here. That's where. And then from there, where is it likely to meet resistance? Because you've got obviously this support area here. Probably need to gain above. And where was you looking? Kind of up here, Dave?
About 3,300, yeah.
Yeah.
Around that area.
I think if we get above here, I could see this just doing this. Just because there's going to be so many like people wanting to short from all of these levels. I wouldn't be surprised if it not just in one straight candle, but if this just goes, then if anything, it'll probably and then go like that.
Yeah.
At some point, especially like the length of time we've been in this range, at some point it's just going to. How big was this move here?
It's like 40% in the end, I think.
60%.
Oh, so, even bigger.
Yeah.
And it would go and have a nice sweep of them highs, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I was just thinking of like, say, you identified like all these areas that people are going to be shorting from, and it's just everyone's just trying to push it down here. So, yeah, just rip them all to pieces in one move. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's kind of ready for it, innit? In terms of the fact that it's been so long since we saw it do anything.
Yeah,
it had that one move, and then it seems like, yeah, would it not just be so obvious for it to fall off from here that it does do a nice second leg?
Yeah.
But
that's what I would imagine. Just rip through the whole goddamn lot. Make everyone cry.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we've got on ETH anyway. I mean, across the market, really, it's a bit of a mixture. You know, some alts have performed quite well, and then some are still really yet to do anything.
Yeah, I went through loads yesterday. So just to finish the ETH thing, so I have this level here, this red level, is the game.
Yeah.
And again, I could quite easily just see this ripping all the way up here.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be in one straight candle, but that's kind of where I would imagine it will go. And like, I was also looking at like Bitcoin yesterday. It's kind of, I wonder how many people are trying to look at this trend line and go, shortlist down. Looking at the weekly and the very quickly. So the monthly close was green. That's good. So monthly close was good. The weekly close, as long as we stay above here, it's 104.5. I think it is. Then at some point this is gonna just blast out, and then it's just how high we go from there. So this is just an absolute setup, in my opinion. The trend line that's going to get some people burnt, and then ETH is ETH. What other one? So I've not looked at this for a while. Total, what does that look like?
Yeah, I haven't looked at these total charts in ages, to be honest. I'm
not looking at any of them, Dave. The only one I'm looking at is I am concerned about total one. I'm not bothering about others, total two, total three. Because there's just too many altcoins. So I'm very clear.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's only like I think it's like the first couple hundred of altcoins that are taken into account as well. So while it gives, like probably the most important picture, like it's not really for all altcoins. I'm sure it's like the first 300, maybe 400 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's taken into account in T1, T2, 3, and then obviously others. I can't remember the exact number, but it's the first couple hundred, I think. We've got Loki saying ETH unable to close a weekly candle above that liquidity gap. Dung Schlung says hype. I mean, hype is one of the ones, that has been out on its own and it just relentlessly pumping. I know, obviously, our good friend Wiz was buying that down at $10, which proved to be a very, very good buy.
Well, when we came down here, is where I should have bought, but alas.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll have an alert set if we retest this high here, but I'd imagine this is just gonna. But obviously, hype has been getting lots of hype with that James Wynn or whatever his name is. Yeah, that's been very funny.
I don't really know what side of the fence I sit on with that, because do I believe that this guy is just relentlessly gambling all his money away in front of everyone, or is it not just the perfect marketing stunt for hype? Like,
is it a marketing stunt for hype? Is it also are the market makers using him as kind of bait almost?
Yeah, it's maybe like, obviously I remember when Capo was around, and you don't really hear much about him, but obviously he was famous for, at the start of obviously this move like 2.5 years ago, for being in kind of disbelief and saying on every single push up that it was a bear trap and it wasn't going anywhere, and refused to flip bias.
Yeah.
So are they maybe just using him? Now it's kind of a bit of a meme to maybe get people on the opposite side of the trade or something. I don't know.
Something seems a bit stinky. Why would anybody, unless you had the ego of all egos, openly advertise your liquidation price on such big trades?
Yeah, exactly. Why would you not just do it on Binance or Bybit or any of obviously these the big exchanges that can fill orders like that?
Yeah.
And then also just why would you do it? Why would you do that? Why would you do that in the first place? It just something just doesn't seem right about it, and we'll probably never find out. But
it seems
these people that just come out of nowhere, it just seems like too much of a strategically, because no one was talking about this guy 2 weeks ago, was they? No. I didn't even know who he was. I don't think.
No, well, I spoke to Kay about it. He remembers him from the last cycle.
Right. So it's actually a real person then, yeah?
Yes. Well, he was on Spaces the other day doing a thing with Justin Sun and HTX and some other people. So, yeah, I don't know. Something doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, it just seems very strange. Like, I don't really buy that. I don't really buy it, me. But I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Right. What other alt should we look at?
Well, hang on. Let's see. So we've got Wiz saying, "Good afternoon, my favourite pals. Others chart doesn't show strength." BPN says still hoping for a break to 107 to 109 to short back down to 96. So that's what BPN Mega is thinking. And Loki says 109.5. Wiz, I'm guessing these are all stocks. Yeah, there's CoreWeave, I think. Wiz is now pivoted, mate. So Wiz is now Wizard of Stocks. He's not Wizard of Alt anymore. He's now just a TradFi guy. So when he comes to Zebu, he's probably going to turn up in a suit with a briefcase,
braces and all sorts.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And he's going to go and order a slimline tonic or a mojito or something. You know. Dung Schlung says James Wynn has to be hedged 100x on another wallet. I mean, you would imagine so. Like, there's something, whether he is openly actually doing it himself, and he's doing it on himself, and it's not some sort of marketing ploy, or obviously someone's put him up to it with funds or whatever. There's got to be obviously an ulterior motive than just gambling away. What did he have at the top? Like 70-80 million dollars.
100 million.
Was it? Like, just openly doing that. There's got to be an ulterior motive for it, surely. Wiz says, what, mate?
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. Wiz says he made, apparently called Pepe at 600k, yeah, which I think if I calculated it right, if he held it from 600k towards where it peaked at like 10 billion, I think that's like a 14,000x or something like that. I did it in my head on the stream last week, and it's roughly something crazy.
I would like a 14,000x.
I would certainly like a 14,000x, yeah, and I wouldn't be too greedy to put too much into it either. No. I'd be happy with just put in a small amount into a 14,000x. That'd be fine with me. Nothing too greedy.
No.
Wiz has got his gilet ready.
Gilet.
Morning, Crypto Nate. How we doing? What should we look at next? What should we do? Well, we've got obviously Sol. Go on, you look at this. Go on, you pull this up first, mate. What's this? VRA. Is that Veracity?
Varsity.
So
this was one that got absolutely tontoed the other week.
Right.
It had this weird candle here. I was flicking through a bunch of alts yesterday, and like you were saying, so many of them just look. Things like this look stronger, are they? That's kind of, you can kind of see these where they're just gonna pump. That's pretty easy.
I think as well. I think we are. I think kind of permanently stuck in this cycle of when things are going well for Bitcoin and the market, generally across the market, things maybe do like 2, 3, 4x. And then you will have a concentration on a few that might do 5 to 10, maybe even to 20x.
Yeah.
And I think I don't see really that changing for the overall market itself. I think it's probably likely to stay like that with just how thinly spread the liquidity is. So, Bitcoin say breaks to 120k, 130k, whatever, over the next couple months, whatever. I think, you've got a good chance that overall on the market, altcoins will do 2, 3, 4x. And then you'll have strong ones like Hype, obviously, for where Hype is. I think if it did a 2x for me, it'd be pretty large. So maybe not Hype, but you'll have other things come up where maybe they'll do like a 5x or a 6x or a 7x, whatever, and then just perform a little bit better.
There's so many that look like this kind of thing, and you go, anything below this line is just gambling that it's gonna go well. Whereas if you get back above here, you kind of go, right, you can see the support is there. So there's a real kind of real difference in the likes of Aave I mean, Anglo looks all right to me, and it's clearly defined support and resistance levels. But like, yeah, it goes here. Things like Ape. I mean, it's just, do you gamble down here, or do you wait for support to be gained? I mean, Aptos. I mean, this has been absolutely slammed into the ground.
Yeah, and a lot of ones look like that at the moment. So if you look at Aptos, and I know Ton is looking like this as well. Like, from where they started to now, they've actually hardly pumped now with this pullback that they've had. They've hardly done anything while Bitcoin has ran from 74 to 112. They've actually hardly done anything now. They're up maybe like 10, 20, 30%.
Yeah.
You've obviously got ones that have stayed, like, Hype's up 3.5x or nearly 4x, whatever. You've got Aave obviously running well. But then, things have had to bounce. And then even when Bitcoin's not really doing much, obviously then still selling off. Who is actually using that stuff though? Well, I mean, thing is like everything really is pumped on speculation and stuff, isn't it? Like, I don't think anything. Obviously, you do have things in crypto pumped based on usage, but everything kind of pumps on excitement and things like that, doesn't it? Not like directly on usage.
But who can honestly say, hand on heart, that they regularly use crypto for anything at all?
Yeah, I think, I mean, really the main one that I use is just Sol. Like Sol, I only really use the Sol chain to obviously send money, to and from addresses and swap on Jupiter and stuff like that. I can't actually remember the last time I used ETH. I think I may have used ETH, like, honestly.
What's the gas fees like on ETH at the moment?
I reckon they'll probably be dead, I imagine. It's probably still pretty cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I think it's just a fact, isn't it, that the liquidity is spread so thinly across, and you've got obviously still like loads of money locked up on chain, like loads of money locked up on Pump Fund, loads of money locked up on things that have come off Pump Fund but are still on chain, so on like Jupiter and Dexes.
Yeah.
So you're not even getting towards the centralized coins yet.
No.
So everything's kind of, the money is spread so thinly across the market, it's unbelievable. I mean, memes have had a great pump. WIF has done it did like a 5x or something. SPX has done really well. There's a couple of others that have done really, really well. But things like Pepe, they've come into like key supply zones and rejected off there. I know Pepe has, because I've been looking at Pepe.
Yeah, but the thing is, I remember when I'd done all of these meme coin charts, and everyone thought I was utterly bonkers and mad, and like calling for lows down here, and yeah, it happened. So what's happened in Pepe? See, Pepe to me, still got this massive price for it. It might not get visited until the bear market, but that's still open to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a. I don't really know the answer to it, Dave, to be honest with you. What other one? Yeah, so WIF looks alright. I mean, if you just flick through these, like Trump, is this just reaccumulate? Is this accumulating here? Is that going to do something at some point? Maybe. I mean, I just don't know. They've obviously bounced off of their lows, but have we actually? Are you buying memes at the moment?
I wouldn't buy me, no way. No way.
Look at this. I mean, what's the point?
I mean, if I'd bought them personally, if I'd bought them at the bottom, when you're up, obviously now they've pulled back a bit, but you could have gone back 2 weeks ago when everything was close towards the local highs. I would have got rid of them all, 100%.
Yeah.
We've got Wiz saying there was a guy peddling his crypto hotel project in Dubai, and his previous experience was working in a travel lodge. Crypto hotel.
See, this doesn't look too bad. Goat.
Yeah.
Broke out. Maybe retest here.
Wiz was talking about this on Friday. I can't remember what he was saying about it, but he was talking about goat.
Was you saying anything intelligent? I would imagine the answer is yes.
He may have been, but I probably wasn't listening. So he probably was saying something intelligent, but I doubt I was listening. I remember him talking about goat though.
I mean, Brett, I traded some of this up, but again, you really want this to. I'm of the opinion there's some altcoins that you would go, yes, I will trade that from where we are. But I would also go, I'm just going to take some profit on my gold trade.
Yeah, nice. Hello, Fever. Great to see you, mate. Long time no speak. Thank you for joining the stream. As for everyone else, thank you for joining the stream. Make sure you do drop a big like on the stream. And if you're watching over on X, make sure you follow the Stonksy page, hop over to the profile, and come over to the YouTube and drop a subscribe. We're nearly at 2.1k subscribers, so that will be great to surpass that. He said he thought it looked scary, that gap down, and he's mentioning cow. Wiz's favourite altcoin is definitely cow.
I was looking at cow yesterday myself, so it's all here, charted, ready to go. My personal advice, whether anyone wants to listen at all or not, just at this, obviously the market's been a bit difficult in general. Lower time frame, in my opinion, you're just asking for instant death. So I'm not bothering with anything lower time frame. And so what I've been doing, I've been doing a lot of testing over the last few weeks, Dave, on bar replay. And if you can mark out key areas on a chart, you can effectively trade like how many days you could have traded like this particular token. Let's just mark out like 10% growth, right? You could literally every single time. I'll go onto the weekly quickly. Tip for people, right? You can clearly see this is weekly support resistance level. This red line. So you can mark these out on charts, and then as soon as you close the daily above, as long as you keep the daily closes above, you can literally just, anytime it touches that line, long, and you'll get 10% pretty much every time. And then you just put your stop loss at the line, and or if it's starting at the line, and then if you close the daily below, then you manually close the trade, and then look, trade. Like you can just consistently just do the same, like rinse and repeat. And this is not doing 100x or 400x or 5 billion x. It's just, if you're talking about just purely trading, this is how you trade. Really, really simple ways of trading. I was looking at the same sort of thing on algo. Where was I? Like, once you gain these levels, you can literally just trade every single time it kind of touches it, and just close below, and you wait. And then if you'd have got into this trade as soon as the daily closed here, set your stop loss at that line, and then you could, in effect, just ride under and then just move your stop loss every time you create a market structure and then break out of it. That's my trading plan anyway.
Yeah, I think the market as well, especially for like large trades, not accounting scalps or maybe even intra week trades, but the market is definitely in kind of a one where if you're looking to get on like some real big size or high conviction ones, it's very much in like a positional trade environment in it, where you'll have to wait potentially months for your high time frame setup, and then once it comes around, then it's there. So obviously looking at algo there, obviously it broke below that bottom red one, but then you wait months and months and months for it to distribute back down to there, but then it comes back down there, tests it, and then that's your place. Then after waiting months and months and months, and then from there to back where it peaked, kind of that was like a 2x again.
Well, the thing is, it's if you put or do bar replay or spend some time just on the weekly charts, you'll very easily locate, identify key levels of support resistance, and then it's easy. If you touch this, you long. If you close the daily below it, then you're actually invalidated. If you get to here, then you either take profit or short it, and just carry on doing the same thing. It's just it reminds me back of your CSE early days, Dave, where you used to do the Bitcoin reviews, and you go right. When you're in this range here, then you're long from here and you're short from there. And you play that range until the range is broken.
Yeah. And that's on the we're looking at the weekly chart there. So you have to have a bit of patience, but that they're for kind of your big trades, aren't they? The trades where you can get your conviction in, you can get your size on, and then.
The way I was looking at it, Dave, and I think I've explained my little trading challenge that I haven't taken any trades for a couple of weeks because I haven't liked Bitcoin dominance. But I think I've done whatever X on that so far. And that's just literally just doing a similar kind of thing, just waiting for these little levels to be retested, setting out your fixed TP levels of, say, 5-10%, and if you can you think there are, how many different altcoins are there? About 60 billion. They're not all going to retest support resistance at the same time. So pick 10 charts, pick 20 charts, however many you want, and then just set alerts at support resistance, and then you think if you're at 10x leverage, and then you're looking for a 10% move, it's a decent return every single time you take a trade, and you're only going to be in it for a day or two. Is the tops. It's really, really quick, easy way to trade altcoins and not get burgers, because the invalidations are so easy.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Especially for altcoins. Yeah, it's still in a position where you don't want to be holding on to trades too long, isn't it?
Nah. In and out. So what's moved a lot in the last 7 days? So, Ton. So should we have a look at Ton now?
Yeah, so Ton was interesting last week. It got a news pump, and then obviously fell back down.
Yeah.
But I mean, Ton's one of them where it's really hardly moved since. Obviously, Bitcoin has been moving. Maybe it's done 10, 20, maybe a little bit more, a push % higher.
Yeah.
But it's really not done anything.
No. This just looks like it's, again, very different to a lot of altcoins. So this just looks like it's forming an accumulation ready to bounce out to me.
Yeah. Bobby says, try BLOFIN. It's a bit of pain on. Why? What's up, mate? What do you find the issue with it? I'd be interested to know. Wiz says he's been he's been layering bids. I guess that's on Cow. But yeah, I mean, still, we're kind of just in this limbo now, aren't we? Again, similarly to how we have been for many times over this cycle of, we get a decent push and then Bitcoin starts consolidating, and then we're just kind of at the mercy of waiting at what Bitcoin's going to do next.
Well, dominance is just still so high, isn't it? And that's the main issue. Until dominance starts breaking down, then you're not going to get that altcoin run. And I still maintain that we do not get any form of real altcoin rally until Bitcoin gets up here, 120 odd K. That's my personal view. What other joys have I been looking at? CETA's got absolutely smashed the other day, didn't it?
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know. I've not really kept up to date with it. I don't know whether they fixed the issue or resolved it or what happened in the aftermath. But it did get slammed. I mean, to be honest, I was thinking it would have just gone all the way back down towards the lows, but it didn't. It's kind of held on a little bit. Given, I think that it was pretty bad what happened to it, but it was down I think it was about 40% in the day. Wiz raises an interesting question. What is the view on XMR? So Monero is one of the ones that has, I think, just been because it got delisted off a few. I think it got delisted off a few of the top ones. But I believe that's been just quietly chugging along towards its all-time high. XMR.
What is it? XMR. I'm not looking at this for.
Yeah. So it's not on like loads anymore. I don't know what big exchange you can get it on, but it has just been kind of slowly been grinding towards its all-time high.
This is just so I have not looked at this, Dave, for ever. Right, I've got one line on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And retouch and go. So if you know how to mark out support resistance levels, there's a prime example. That's not me been doing it yesterday. I've not looked at this for a long time.
No, I never really keep up to date with it, but I mean, that is a fierce rally. I don't know exactly I don't know whether there's been some sort of catalyst into a concern around privacy or what has actually caused this pump. I mean, that is obviously a very strong pump.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that is it's something that has gone under the radar, really, because it's not on the big exchanges anymore. Crime season. Yeah, maybe people are kind of looking, completely theoretical, but maybe there's some groups of people looking to maybe wash some of the money. Obviously, buy XMR, withdraw it, put it through the network. Obviously, it's untraceable, so then you deposit it back onto the exchange and bang, them funds have currently just come out of nowhere. So
this one was another one that went nuts, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that was fascinating. So I don't know if anyone knows or not, but all that stuff around the founder, did that end up being true or was that fabricated? I don't know. Mate, Wiz will know. Wiz will know. Wiz, what happened with Zebra? Did the founder... That was reported with the founder. Was that actually true, or was that fabricated by someone? Apparently still alive. So yeah, there you go. There is that.
Well, yeah, that was a weird one. You had obviously you had VRA, which was another sketchy one, wasn't it? Where it just suddenly just cracked itself here. Which was something. Was that something to do with Twitter or something? Or
I have no idea.
That was a coordinated sell-off that was like done. What was that? 40% candle in like a couple of hours. What other ones we had? We had OM, obviously.
Yes, we looked at OM yesterday. Someone asked about it in the chat. I mean, it's just hanging on by a string, isn't it? Just hanging on by a piece of string.
Yeah. I have this charted out. I still think. Where was I thinking? Why was I thinking that?
Bobby, there is a BLOFIN app. There is I don't know if you've downloaded it or not, but there is an app for BLOFIN. Just so you know. Yeah, I mean, we were looking at it yesterday. I think kind of that point there. I think it's down towards like 20 cents is the last kind of line in the sand for it, isn't it? If it was to go down towards
this bit here.
Yeah, like that is obviously it's been testing the upside of it, but if it got down towards there, that 20 cents line is kind of like the real last fight for it. Because if it starts going below there, then you're just done for.
So yeah, mate. Market cap now. It's gone from 300. What was it? 5 billion, 8 billion,
something like that. Yeah.
324. Holy shit balls!
Yeah, it was a pretty. I mean, I think it ended up like the top 20. I think it was like 20th placed or something around the time of the the drop off. So
this is another comical one because Mask got delisted, didn't it?
Yeah.
And again, what was this candle here? 60% downside, and then I don't know if it's been relisted yet. But to me, that looks like it's kind of it's like Ghost of Christmas Future, if they like some of the ones that have been delisted from Binance.
Oh yeah, you know what that's going to do? That's going to go straight up to that kind of $4-ish range in it, maybe in between there towards $4.30 or whatever it is. Yeah. You just know that looks destined to just have one of them massive upside wicks and then just come all the way back down as whoever's been buying it up distributes it. Yeah,
it's kind of that level.
Wiz says he's out of Mask, so yeah, I think Wiz was buying the bottom of that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, again, you've got clear kind of support level here. If it comes back down, I've got an alert there just in case. But yeah, it looks a bit sketch to me. I mentioned eGold to you yesterday, Dave, didn't I?
You did, mate, yeah.
So I actually think this looks all right, personally. If it gains above this level again, I think that will run up quite nicely. You would expect something like here, kind of thing, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Other one, someone mentioned ENA to me the other day. Doesn't look too bad from where it is, but again, like get above. That's right. So some of this stuff, if it touches this support line, I'll put gambling money kind of allocation here, and then we'll add when I get here on some of these alts that look like this.
Wiz says BAL is the same theory. BAL is the same theory as Mask, and then obviously you got other ones. I mean, like Burger, a few others from the delisting phase. Sean, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. Thank you for joining the stream. Make sure if you've just joined or if you're over on X, you drop a big like on the stream and do subscribe.
Look at the state of Burger.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's not just crazy; it's bordering on criminal. It's charming. I said the other week in our little group, Dave, that to me, something like that is all day long worth a little punt bag.
What is it at now? What number? I can't quite see.
8
something.
Burger. Is that right? 185 grand market.
No, I don't think that's it. I think it's Burger Swap, innit? I think. Is it not on CoinMarketCap anymore? Either way.
It's about 850,000 market
Right.
cap.
Yeah, tiny. Which is
What's the other one? BAL.
BAL, yeah, BAL, apparently. I'm guessing it's another one that got delisted.
I mean, jeez. You've got to think that there's going to be some people that have got stuck with cash up there and are very much going to want to. Well, even if you go like just box this out into like an accumulation zone, you've got to think like people are going to want to push it there at least. So, I mean, it's 6x, and this is where
not bad.
You'll just get the candle like that out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's why also key if you are scaling into anything where you think this could scam pump or whatever, make sure you've got your alerts set or sell orders in, because you just never know when it's going to do it. It could do it when you're sleeping. It could do it when you're out, when you're not at the charts.
You look here on BAL. So the 67 million market cap.
Still after all that as well. Which is
12 million of volume, so it's still getting some trading volume, which is good. But you think it's not going to take much with a market cap like that to just go pop, and then all of the people that were in here basically will be going sell. That's where you're going to get them ridiculous candles.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Any others that people are mentioning?
Wiz is talking about iron. I don't know whether that's a stock or what. I have no idea. Probably with Wiz, it's a stock.
Yeah.
Bobby, no worries, mate. Yeah, the app is much better than using it if you were using it on Safari or something like that. Yeah, the app's much better.
What do you think of things like? I mean, things like this just look.
Not. I mean, that's tied to Telegram, isn't it? That's tied to Ton. I think.
Oops. Just so all of these still decent market cap, but they'll just get at some point just get sent out of nowhere. So Pith was another one I've been told to keep an eye on, but again, where do you bid things like this? It's just kind of seems a little bit pointless from where it is at the moment. So it kind of now that again, you can see I've got my alert set. If this gains above here, it's quite easy just to go from like above that level there to get to give me like a 10% like move. It's not going to take much.
Yeah.
And again, that's a decentish project thing. This got absolutely slapped down again the other day, didn't it?
SLF. That's one I've not looked at in a long time now. I mean, it has come and filled in that wick, hasn't it, from February? Like,
you had this candle up the other day, and then it just went. That was in a few hours, a couple of hours. Kind of thing.
Yeah. I haven't looked at that in a while. Yeah, I mean, I think. Oh yeah, Sui's a bit of an interesting one.
Again, to me, clearly see where we need to gain. So you either wait for that, or I would suggest any dip into this demand zone is probably not a bad bid area. Because again, you can see if you start closing. I know this is on the weekly, but you can look at the daily or whatever. If you start closing within here, then you know you're in trouble. But this is quite capable. Again, it depends if people are looking to trade or invest. But you can get some really decent trades, actual day trades on this stuff if you wait for these kind of, or mark out these kind of levels.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with some things as well, though. I think some things are like, I don't know. I look at something like Syrian, and that's obviously a great push up. But I'm like, is that not just like a kind of high time frame lower high forming? Lower high. I don't know. I'm kind of in two minds of what is actually going on, because that has come up and structurally it looks like a lower high now. So I don't know. I'm still kind of torn with what is actually going on.
Not to use too many fibs and stuff. But it wouldn't. My personal view is dip, rip. I don't know whether I've got glass half full on, but other ones I'm looking at WorldCoin. I mean, some of these like really, really decent sized projects. Celestia.
Yeah, the fall off is actually. I mean, there's no really other word for it than brutal, is it? Like that is brutal.
But the thing is, I know for a fact, like Celestia is a really good project. It's got massive backers. Like, same as Self-Chain. I know that there's really decent big VCs involved. This just seems to me like this is like crushing hopes and dreams down here, and then you're just going to get basically this kind of run up again. I'm hoping so anyway, because I've got quite a big bag of Celestia. So
yeah, it is mental when you look at it. Wiz says this is why I've gone to stocks. You need to change your name, mate. You need to be Wizard of Stocks now.
Wizard of everything.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know in the chat what have you guys been trading, your overall thoughts on the market. It'd be great to know some of what you guys have been trading on. Let us know in the chat if you'd like us to look at anything specific. The poll is up as well for US Open. We've got the US market open in 20 minutes. Do you think that we're going to get kind of a lull over summer again? Because obviously summer is typically quite boring for the market. Do you think maybe we're just stuck around now until maybe September-ish, October-ish?
I personally believe that, looking at the charts, we are poised for quite a big move.
Yeah,
is my guess. And then we're going to get a mighty great sell-off, reaccumulate before then more upside.
Yeah, but this is something. Yeah, I mean, I looked at it on stream the other day, and typically, I know obviously it's like a saying, isn't it? Like, oh, summer's boring or whatever. But typically on most years, where Bitcoin opens June trading or trades in June, when you come to August, the price is actually, it'll obviously go up and down in parts, but the price actually most of the time comes back to the same area from between June and yeah, go on. Let's see it.
So this is the Bitcoin chart. So again, not financial advice. So this is Trump's birthday, 14th of June, which is if anyone's getting him a card, that is in 11 days' time. But this is kind of mid-June. I wonder if we get a run-up and then sell off. And it'd be funny if it was on Trump's birthday. It's just something I noticed the other day. And someone mentioned to me, but something, and that when we do get the next run up, I'm guessing, using my little chart here, I think we will get, depending on where we get to, and I do think the local high will be around about this level, about 120. I can see about 30% pullback. So, remember when everyone was calling for this? Low 80s, or whatever it was, on crypto Twitter. Is that right? Why am I doing this wrong? Maybe low 70s, but yeah, coming somewhere around here, just sweeping this kind of trend line, all of this. I can see that kind of happening.
Yeah, it would make sense. I mean, no matter where it goes to, it's going to have a correction at some point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tantana says, why hasn't TMG gone live? He's been putting out daily videos. I'm not sure on the status on when he'll next be going actually live or anything like that, Tan. But I'm no doubt you'll have probably seen his videos he's been putting out. Ask him. Ask him in his Telegram group. He's launched a new Telegram group, hasn't he? So go and ask him in that. I'm not too sure on the live stream side. He says also Link, baby. Tana's a Link Marine, big Link maxi. Should we have a look at Link for Tan?
So look at Link.
Good old chain Link.
Here's one I prepared earlier. Looks alright to me at the moment. If we hold, as long as we hold the blue box, then I would imagine we are looking to retest the highs. Personally, something like this, when was this? November, December. So, what's that? I mean, considering some of the numbers that people were throwing around for Link at one point, yes, it's done well since like the run up here, but I think I can see things like this putting in a really big move, taking out maybe even an all-time high on the next run up. But yes, these are my personal levels. I don't know if you got anything different, Dave, but kind of.
I think it does look quite similar. Yeah, it's just a game of patience, isn't it? I think it's just a game of patience, but also, have your areas set out and your alerts or your reminders or whatever to actually, if all this patience pays off and we do get obviously some big push on altcoins, to actually take your profit and sell. Because, this pain that has been constant with altcoins for the past couple of years of up and then all the way back down and then up and then all the way back down and then, just constant, a little bit green and then obviously red.
Well, the thing is, I think it's a useful bit of spiritual guidance for people in general. 95% or 90% of your work when it comes to trading or investing should be done before you're even in the trade. So a lot of my stuff is done weeks in advance and have my levels marked out in advance. And then when it comes to actually taking the trade, or it coming to a point of interest, then I'm ready, basically. And I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. They'll look on crypto Twitter or some other nonsense, and then go, "Oh, this one's going to do really well," or someone, and then they'll just try and force a trade.
Mm-hmm.
If you plan well in advance, by the time you're actually taking trade, if it's come to a point of interest, all your job should be then going, right, is this trade or the idea still valid? Yes. Okay, right, where do I want the stop loss, where do I want the entry point, where do I want the TPs, and then you just enter it. And it should be a case of then just managing trades. 90% of it should be, everything should be planned where you're going to take profit. And it's always, where's the stop, where's it the trade becoming valid? So that's where you put your start. You start with where this trade becomes valid, so you stop loss, then your entry point, and then your TPs. If the risk reward makes sense, then enter the trade. If not, do not.
Yeah, smashing, mate. I like that a lot. Some really key wisdom there, and yeah, I hope. Yeah, I mean, we hope it comes, but we'll see. I don't know.
Do you still believe that there will be an alt season though?
For some things, yeah, not for like kind of a rising tide lifts all boats thing. I think it'll be a case of what I mentioned before, where you'll have kind of a consensus, like maybe 2, 3, 4x on things, and then your proper alt season will be concentrated into a basket of altcoins, whether that's 10, 20, 30, 50 altcoins, whatever.
Well, it's gonna have to rotate, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah. Like these things that we're seeing now, you got hype running now. At some point that will top, and then profits will be taken from that, and then we'll see something else running, whether like Sui, maybe Sui another leg, or Link, or something else will run.
Yeah.
AI season is more fun. Yeah, I mean, what have you been looking at? Anything in terms of stocks, like maybe the Mag 7 or anything? Has anything been catching your eye, or are you kind of just letting it do its thing? Obviously,
well,
I know.
I still think the whole thing of indicators keep coming up. The fact that, when was it, the monthly for April was like almost turned green. We're almost back at highs. It's looking all right, even though some other like indicators like your yields and bond yields and stuff, everything's kind of, this was definitely just a taking profit and whatnot. The actual Mag 7 themselves, I mean, it's just, again, this is just a pure taking profit scenario, isn't it? Let's have a look on the weekly and see. I'll quickly do the Mag 7. So let's do this reverse. Uno reverse. Still some gaps to be had. But generally speaking, doesn't. These kind of pullbacks are just, we didn't make another low here.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
you'd imagine new high comes. If we don't, then you'll retest down here. Google looking more, that did make a new low. So it's just now whether it can get above here.
Where says Palanta and CoreWeave are ripping hard.
Microsoft looks decent.
Yeah. What do you think? So, mate, this is a question that extends into the chat and obviously to you, Wiz. Obviously, I think anything to do with like AI and stuff in the stock market is still, very much the attention on it and ripping hard. What do you think the next kind of phase of attention will be on? like the next kind of like hot thing in terms of industry attention? Obviously, AI probably still keep running, won't it? With
I reckon it'll be Solana season.
Do you reckon? Yeah, with the demand into Nvidia chips still so hot. Obviously, anything that Nvidia touches, with CoreWeave just absolutely ripping the past couple of weeks. What do you think? Maybe like the next kind of thing that Wall Street focuses on, and then I think it'd be quite interesting to maybe find a category like that, and then maybe try and find like an Nvidia or a CoreWeave or something in stocks where you could see like a quick 3, 4, 5x. Wiz thinks focus on energy. Nuclear energy is massive. All my plays are doing well.
Yeah, I mean, generally, my general stock market play is I wait for stock market crashes and just literally buy the dip. You can either buy the index or just literally buy individual stocks. All of this is going to get obliterated in the next 12 months, I'd say, stock market wise. We will have an almighty great crash at some point. So,
I think so. I mean, that's something that we've been talking about that for ages, haven't we? And it probably will come eventually. Because
if it was me or the way I will play it or will continue to play it is I'll get into stocks when we've had a crash. Then once they've basically recovered, I will then just rotate into an index and just compound the index. And then I know for the most part I have a pretty good idea when the crash is going to come. And you just rotate in and out, just rinse and repeat. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
So Nvidia, it's gonna get painful at some point.
So what are you looking at on obviously, we've already touched the purple box. Are you thinking blue box, or are you actually thinking full
when it crashes?
Green box?
Well, all these are pricing or areas that need to be retested. Obviously, I haven't marked out everything because at some point you're going to need to distribute between here and here. So you're going to get either distribution or reaccumulation here. Same thing, this is a smaller area, but that needs to be filled in. This all looks all right now, so you can see why it's running up, but this ultimately needs to be filled in as well. So everything will be left open on the charts. Same as we've mentioned countless times, things like PayPal. This is the ghost of Christmas future, in my opinion, for tech stocks. So Meta, all right.
And I wonder what the catalyst for something like this will be. Do you like?
Well,
something obviously, typically, something normally ignites it, doesn't it?
Well, obviously, you look at Intel. This is eerily similar, to Nvidia, right? This run up.
Yeah.
And that was the .com bubble, and then it just rapidly sells off. And then, as you can see, this is why it's all. When I always say price needs to go back to where price is, where you have these voids in the chart, price will always go back and into areas that have not had accumulation. And this is all that's just happening here. There's still gaps here and lower down. So you look at Tesla looks like. So when this happened, when they released their earnings, when Musk was still there, and it was like their worst earnings report ever. But we was here, so you either lose this support area here, and you basically nuke, or it was going to bounce, and it was just front run by the markets.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My personal view is we're going to have on tech at some point. There will be an almighty correction.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
What are we thinking for New York Open, Dave? Very quickly, place your bets there.
Let's see what the majority being. So we've got 64% thinking up, 36% thinking down. I am thinking down. Yeah, I'm thinking down. I'm not gonna lie, I am I am struggling. I'm struggling to get like uber bullish at this point, I'll be honest.
Well, see, what I'm thinking, we are going to get down at some point because we haven't retested the 200 moving average for a while. And when I say a while, I mean since April,
mid-April-ish, yeah.
And it's really in range now.
Yeah.
So personally, I can see a scenario that perhaps we get that kind of, that's going to be the range break. Or maybe not, maybe it just goes up. But there's obviously you've got all of this that's just not been swept at all.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been waiting for. It's like a trip down to 101, maybe even 100.
Well, people will be going, oh, we're going to come back down here. I just don't see it. But yeah, a retest of 100, that psychological level, and then just sweep all of this, would make sense. But what have we got? Shall I get off my screen, Dave, so you can put your
sure, mate.
Let's load it up for New York Open.
I was just looking at that. What Wiz put in, something called NBIS. Unfortunately, it's already 2x up off the lows, but there we go. Let's get the chart up anyway. Let's get the 1 minute chart up, and we'll get ready. And there we go. There we go. We are open for business on the stock market. We have opened at 105,433 on Bitcoin as of US Open. So let's see what we get from there. We've got Ivalo saying Coinbase. Yeah, we could look at Coinbase stock. Fill the inefficiency inside the internal range. Wiz is talking about, Wizard of Stock is talking about mid-cap energy and pharma. Mid-cap US energy will be gobbled up up by the big dogs. Have you never seen my bell before, Fever? You never seen my bell before? I can't believe you've never seen my bell.
I have.
You've seen my bell.
It's a fine bell.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to maybe start following the Wizard of Stock picks, to be honest. I think we might have to task Wiz with finding us a nice little pumper before he actually gets in himself, and before it goes. What do you think, mate? Should we task Wiz with that?
Yeah, I think it's a splendid idea.
When he actually has some information, tell us at the same time that you're buying. before it does something like a core weave, and has he done a 5x? Took the day off. Oh, nice, mate. Enjoy. Down in Florida. Cryptogenic, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. Thank you for joining. And do make sure you follow his words as well. Do make sure you smash the like button if you haven't. Let's see, what are we on? 21 likes. So there's a few of you that are watching. Do make sure you take a second to go and smash the like button. And of course, please do subscribe. But we are getting downside on open. We're down a couple of $100. The opposite to yesterday. We pumped up on open yesterday and then dropped down after about 10 minutes. So we're going to get the inverse, maybe, dropping down and then pump, or we're just in for red day to day. Let's see. But yeah, what are you, you got anything nice planned for over the summer, mate? Anything coming up?
We're Croatia and Italy, Dave.
Ah, lovely.
How about yourself?
Going away the start of July-ish, and then again at the start of September.
Very nice. Where are you off to?
Nowhere fancy. Going down to South Wales in July, and then in September, it's Yorkshire way.
Very nice. If the weather's nice, I was down in Cornwall last week, and the weather was very kind, and it's apart from one day, so it's absolutely lovely.
Yeah, I haven't been down to Cornwall for ages. I used to always go as a kid, and I have liked the idea of going back, but yeah, I just haven't got round to it. But yeah, it's a lovely part of the country, isn't it?
It is.
Did you go surfing?
I didn't this time round, Dave. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law were over from LA. So, we was more sort of like just spending time with them and letting the dogs run on the beach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. We've got Dunder Thunder for sure. Yeah, thank you for joining, mate. Appreciate you. Save says, I'd love to know what Justin and me thinks of Tau today, if you haven't already. No, we've not looked at Tau. We can have a look at Tau next. And Wiz says, I'm on holiday on Thursday and it's forecast straight rain. Sorry to hear that, mate. Where are you going? Where are you going? You just have to make the best of it, Wiz. You just have to stay inside and get tanked up on the beers. Just have to get tanked up on the beers instead. I tell you what, mate, we really need to go for a beer soon.
Yes, we do.
Or many.
The Wizard of Beers.
Something I was looking at last week was obviously I was looking at Zebu on stream, and yeah, I can't wait for that again this year. Should be fun.
Yes.
Should be very fun. I was going to the island. Oh, I remember you saying that actually on Friday. I remember you saying about the Island Man on Friday. Well, you'll have a good time, mate. Whatever happens, even if it's raining, you can still stay inside in the pub, can't you? So, yeah, that is that's it. Have you considered moving abroad?
Yeah.
Have you like has it been on your mind at all, or are you just kind of happy where you are?
It's depends. I would. But obviously, having kids and stuff, it's not kind of ideal with school and stuff like that. So
yeah.
But I wouldn't discount it, Dave. Especially if you came with me.
Oh, I would. I would. We could get our own little what do you call it? A compound. Get a compound.
Fine,
and we can have. And we can have Wiz there. We can lock Wiz in a room with a computer and get him to trade stocks.
Yeah.
And feed him beer. Give him beer for breakfast, lunch, and tea, and he can trade stocks all day. He'll be in his absolute element then, won't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a splendid idea.
Yeah, no. To be honest, if I was to ever move abroad, I don't think I would go too far. I would probably go to like North Spain or North Portugal.
Well, did you see? I saw something about Portugal the other day about how friendly they are when it comes to crypto and investments and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I believe it's for as long as you've held it for over 1 year, it's then tax free.
Yeah.
In Portugal. So I don't know what the taxation is if you sell in under 1 year. Probably like maybe 10-20%, something like that.
Yeah,
but if you is it? Yeah, because I remember a guy. I don't know if he's still in CSE Plus, but there was a couple of, I think there was 2 of them actually in CSE Plus, in the Discord.
Yeah.
And they'd actually moved to Portugal for that reason. They'd moved to Portugal for the reason of it being really good on crypto. So, yeah, you wouldn't think it, would you? But yeah, it kind of goes under the radar. It's obviously not too far away at all. And it is
we
very,
need the
very
Wizard of Tax.
Yeah, we do. We need to get Wiz into government. Have you seen Kazakhstan are doing a big push to make it a crypto capital? No, I haven't. I think that's a little too far for me. A little too far away, Kazakhstan. But I mean, it's not a bad idea. Look at other places that you will get people going there. You will get people going there. It doesn't matter where it is in the world. If you give people financial benefit, you will get people going no matter what. So, if they do that, I have no doubt that people will actually go and live there. A little too far for me, Kazakhstan, and yeah,
So, Wiz, if you was going to go to Kazakhstan, would you be Almaty or would you be, or what's the main city? Can't remember the other main city now. Yeah, there you go.
I'm not too clued up on my geography of around that area, to be honest. I don't know exactly where.
Well, maybe next week, Dave, we'll do a little geography lesson of the stans.
Yeah, maybe we could actually. I could get a map, and we could do a little. This is where all the hot spots are in the world. If you want to pay little investment tax, and we could cover the map, and we could have. You've obviously got the UAE. You've got Portugal. I think Thailand is good on tax. Don't know many others off the top of my head. Abu Dhabi could go there in the winter. Abu Dhabi. Do you know what, Wiz? What really made me like the sound of Abu Dhabi was when you said it's kind of like. I think don't quote me on it, but I think you said it's like the more like civil. Like Dubai is becoming a bit of a place where you get all sorts of people going, isn't it? Like you get,
you got a load of crypto people there. So
where I think, I like the sound of Abu Dhabi. I've never been, but I would like to.
I have been a few times. It's very nice.
Yeah, and it's obviously not too far away from Dubai, I believe.
Hour.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the ultra high net worth social calendar? Never. I haven't. No. What is that? Inform us, Wiz. I'm guessing you're planning on being on that soon. With stock picks. You're gonna be like Davey Day Trader, but you're gonna be Wizzy Wiz Trader. You gotta get sponsored first. Does he still do that? Does he still do that every day, or is it like every so often? Let's see. When does he do it now? Does he do it like once a week or every so often? I don't even know if he still does it or not. There he is. 30th of May was the last time he did one. Davey Day Trader. You need to get sponsored, Wiz. Reach out to Kraken. Where's the weekly trader? Something like that. I don't know. But yeah, get your sponsorship, mate. Secure that bag. Yeah, we are just over 10 minutes into the open, and we have had a push up on ETH, I believe. Bitcoin looks like it's had a push up as well. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, so we did get pushed down. So opposite of yesterday, where we pumped up and then slammed down, we have dropped down and then looking like we are pushing up now. Bitcoin, has completely recovered the drop down loss and is pushing back towards 106.
Well, we've also got jolts in 19 minutes, Dave.
Oh, have we?
Yes.
We've got a couple things this week, haven't we? We've got some stuff tomorrow. And then we have got NFP on Friday as well.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's June already.
I know, tell me about it. Time flies when you're having fun, Dave.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I am shocked. Yeah, we.
Are you in any trades, Dave?
I'm not, mate. No, I'm not. Not currently. Not at this moment in time.
So, do we think jolts is going to affect the market? I'm saying yes.
Up or down?
One of the two.
Up or down? Could always go sideways. Could always.
It will definitely be one of them. Yeah. The market just looks a bit, well, I'm just looking at gold. Gold looks like an absolute price action mess for the week. It's really strange. Alas. I don't really know. We'll do one of the things, though. We'll definitely go up or down.
It certainly will.
Do you know what I really want? I just want everything to pump back to a semi-decent level so I can just sell all my stuff and just be done and not have to worry about crypto for 4 years.
Yeah, I do wonder what type of trajectory we will get over the next couple of years. To me, I still don't think anything that's happened makes it bear market proof.
No. So to quickly go back to Save with Crypto, my thoughts on Teo, or whatever it's called, I have on my screen, where are we? I had the level of 363 as the level that needs to hold for, if that holds for continuation upwards.
Yeah, I think that's been enough. One of the strong performers as well, hasn't it? Of late, I think that's a decent 2, maybe nearly 3x off the bottom.
Yep.
Anything doing crazy numbers today? Not really. Uniswap's up 7%. Cow was up just over 7%. A couple of things, a handful of percent up, 3-4% across some. Nothing too wild though, but yeah, Uni with
I've got my eye on Uni. So Uni, I am looking at either the price to come and retest $4.90 or to gain above $7.60.
Wiz has dropped off. He says got to go. Yeah, thank you, mate, if you're still here. If you're not, thank you anyway. Nick, how we doing, mate? Great to see you, Nick K. Thanks for joining. Of course, if you have just joined, or if you haven't already, do make sure you drop a like on the stream, subscribe. If you're watching on X, make sure you head over to the YouTube and drop a subscribe. And of course, we are still running 20% off Stonksy. You can find a link in the description. But yeah, you come over to the website and it's this monthly plan you want with code BOT20 in at checkout to receive that 20% off. But yeah, we had a decent bit of volatility actually on US Open, haven't we? Got that drop down and then pushed back up. And now we are hanging around 105. 500.
Yeah.
Lee says double confirmation on the 5 minute. Is that so?
What does Stonksy say on Bitcoin at the moment, Dave?
I think on the 1 hour, I don't think it's anything. I was green actually on the 1 hour. It's green down from 104, 880-ish. I think Lee's just said it. Yeah, it's gone green on the 5 minute just. I think it's green on a few things. It's green on ETH up. I'm guessing a couple of percent there. So from where it's up, yeah, 1.6% up from the green on ETH, and then it's done the reversal on a couple of things like Link and AVAX and stuff from where it was red downwards and has gone green on them.
Nice.
But yeah, we've got that 5 minute double confirmation coming in potentially here, which is interesting to see. Yeah, I kind of not really sure what to expect moving into summer. I don't know. I can see reasons for maybe with obviously most people expecting that we don't have anything much. We get kind of a blow off move to the upside.
Hope so. I think we've all waited long enough.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Time will tell. Have you bought much spot back in, Dave, or are you still running bare?
We bought some on the way up, and then to be sold a lot of it. To be honest, the last few weeks. Yeah, so I just kind of a bit confused, to be honest, on what point of the market we're actually in.
And that's exactly what I think the market makers are trying to do.
Yeah.
They are trying to confuse people and scare people out of their positions. Is my view on life.
Yeah.
But hopefully, brighter times ahead, Dave.
Hopefully so, mate. Hopefully so. I think we could see definitely a strong end to the year. It lines up with what's typically happened in the past, doesn't it?
Yes.
Typically, you get that Q4 rally, and then kind of just done and dusted. But I think if momentum is still going towards the end of the year, then that will be pretty much on a high time frame anyway. 3 years of Bitcoin moving upwards, and you've got to assume, haven't you, at that point, it will be due for a cool down on the high time frame anyway. Not talking days and weeks, more months into years. Yeah. I mean, if you go and look at if we look at the weekly chart, I had someone said in one of the live streams, I can't remember when it was over the past week, said something like, when is the rally starting or something? And I just thought, what? Like, what?
The thing is, if you, like we've said before, if you'd have traded Bitcoin and just done Bitcoin, you'd have done it right. But
oh, yeah.
it's what smashed people, and the problem is there's no measure that you can look at and go, right, at least you can try and rationalize Bitcoin, but you can't rationalize altcoins that haven't been around. We're not following 2021 cycle.
No.
At all. So it's really hard to kind of go, yeah, that's what we need to do, or that's what we're going to do. It's just, there's no basis to measure it from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alas.
Yeah, it's really strange. I mean, one thing you can definitely say is a lot of alts are almost certainly going to die off, because they will just not survive a correction on Bitcoin, nor have people willing to put the money on the line to keep it propped up.
No. But I think that's what's been my biggest lesson of this cycle, is just like, you'd have done much better just trading Bitcoin, and actually investing is probably just terrible in general. There's probably much better ways to make money in the lovely crypto space.
Yeah, I mean, really, if we look back at it in hindsight, and really all you had to do was just long Bitcoin, obviously shorted at points, and then just roll them profits into spot Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that is literally just it, isn't it? You know, you long here from where, obviously, if you're buying down here, you're assuming that's the cycle bottom. You take profits wherever, 20k, 25k, 30k. You roll that back into spot Bitcoin. So you've bought, obviously, probably as much as you can down here. You then use them perps profits here. From this point out right here, the profits from up here at 3x. So then you're just compounding your holdings. Maybe you short this, and then whatever you long this leg up here, you change that into spot Bitcoin. That's 30-40% up from here. So it's easy to obviously say that in hindsight, but yeah, it's definitely a lesson to bear in mind, isn't it, for the long term as well? If we in the long term, if we do get a chance to buy down here again, or wherever, down here again, or wherever.
And what do you think's caused all this? Do you think it is the ETF money that's kind of changed the game?
No, I think it's just too many.
Okay.
I think it's a couple of things. I think it's one, it's just too many projects. Like, obviously, the success of altcoins in 2021, you probably there was like 3,000 or 4,000 on CoinMarketCap. At that point, that CoinMarketCap was tracking. Now there's like millions, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I think there's just been too many projects launched that has obviously raised money, whether it be VC money or KOL money or whatever. Obviously, then diluting the money into the market. Then no doubt the launch of like pump fund and stuff like that just swallowed up so much liquidity.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things.
Yeah, like pump fund themselves have made like $500 million or $1 billion, and they just continually sell the Solana into USDC. So they themselves have obviously applied sell pressure onto Solana, but then also swallowed up liquidity from users. Obviously, there's still probably loads of money locked up in pump fund of just coins that just haven't got off pump fund, and it just probably just got liquidity sat in them. Yeah. And obviously, just ones that have launched, people have put money in, it's rugged. Whoever's launched it has then just gone away with that money and took it out or done whatever. I think it's real. I think it just boils down to the fact that there's just been so many ways for liquidity to be swallowed up, and there's just not that liquidity to be passed around. If there was still like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 altcoins, I don't think it would be anywhere near as bad as this. But
I think there's too many projects, and you've got to think, like, you look at the total chart. I think at the peak so far, we've been 20% up from the last cycle high.
Yeah.
And that's why, personally, I believe we are going to see a decent run at some point, because I would imagine that we will get to 7, 8, 9, 10 trillion. So a 3x from where we are now.
Yeah.
So what of that is Bitcoin? What gets rotated and stuff? So I do think that projects will pump hard. It's just being in the right ones at the right time, and if you're able to rotate out of them. But I just wish it would happen. I don't think anyone anticipated that the stuff would be as low as it is now. No.
Otherwise, you would never have had anyone go into altcoins. Everyone would have just gone into strictly Bitcoin, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Like, no one would have bought altcoins. And, you know, obviously, we know a very smart guy called Kay. And, you know, if he knew that, you know, he probably wouldn't have dabbled in maybe some stuff he's dabbled in, and he would have maybe bought more Bitcoin and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I know he's not a Bitcoin holder, or wasn't anyway.
Yeah.
So
if he knew this was going to happen to a lot of, I know obviously some very good ones like Sui, and you know, there's probably a long list of other ones that have been very, very good.
Yeah.
But you know, if you just wanted to avoid all this noise, because the thing with alts is you have to really manage it, don't you? We look back, you know, if we go on something like let's look at something like maybe AVAX or something. You know, if you look at AVAX since 2023 here, obviously it's gone down, but you really had to be just like managing the pumps and stuff, didn't you? So, you know, as soon as it pumped, get out of it.
Well, the thing is,
get back in.
For Bitcoin, what's it done since the bottom? It's pumped, consolidated, pumped.
Yeah.
It's not pulled back at all. It's just, whereas everything else has been absolutely murdered on those
consolidation
ranges.
Yeah.
And that is the fundamental difference. Now, don't get me wrong, what will probably happen next time round, everyone will go, right, I've spotted this on Bitcoin, this is the way to go, and then it will just do the absolute opposite next time.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I don't think
it will, but
no, I don't know. I think the focus is very much on Bitcoin, isn't it? And I think it'll probably stay like that.
So we have got, Dave, 30 seconds until Jolts.
Yeah, we'll watch Jolts and then we'll finish the stream. Yeah, I mean, it's if you want, I think what's evident is if you want kind of a much less stress or you know, easy investment journey, obviously Bitcoin is the one, isn't it, over altcoins?
Yes.
You know, you didn't really have to worry at any point on Bitcoin on this whole cycle.
I'm even going to go on the 1 minute chart for Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, let's get it loaded up. Let's see. All right. We on?
Not really doing much, is it?
No. Nope.
That's not what I was hoping for, Dave.
No, nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, there we go. Right, well, I think we'll end the stream there. So big thank you for joining, everyone. If you haven't already, do make sure you drop a like, drop a subscribe, and of course, check them links in the description. Sign up to BLOFIN with your non-KYC account, and of course, still take advantage of that 20% off Stonksy offer. Until then, catch you all tomorrow. Bye for now.
Dave. See you later, mate.
Bye, mate. Thank you very much.